We're all dealing with uncertainty, right? Every single day. But how often do we actually respond to it in a way that really works? Well, what if I told you the key isn't some super complex algorithm, but a surprisingly simple language that can bring amazing clarity to any risk you're trying to manage? Just think about the last time you saw a team react to a potential problem. Was the response laser-focused, or did it feel a little more like, well, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks? It's a really common frustration, right? We often react to risks by just kind of hoping for the best. Today, we're going to fix that. Okay, the solution has a kind of fancy name, risk meta-language. But don't let that fool you. The idea itself is dead simple. It's just a structured way to talk about risk by breaking it down into its three core pieces: what's causing it, the risk event itself, and what happens because of it, the effect. And this is the magic sentence. It's the whole foundation. Because of a cause, a risk might occur, which would lead to an effect. Seriously, just the act of forcing yourself to define a risk this way is a total game changer. It brings instant clarity, and as you're about to see, it points you straight to the smartest way to respond. So once you've got your risk defined with that sentence, what do you actually do about it? Well, that leads us to the 4 fundamental strategies for handling any risk, period. Yep, that's it. Just 4. It doesn't matter how complicated the situation is, whether you're staring down a huge threat or looking at a golden opportunity, your response is going to fall into one of these 4 buckets. So here's our universal toolkit. First, you can get aggressive and just force a certain outcome. Or you can bring in a third party to help you manage it. You could also try to change the size of the risk, dial the probability or the impact up or down. And finally, you can consciously accept it. You know what might happen, and you're ready for it. Now, let's see how this actually works. Okay, let's put this into practice. We'll start with what we usually think of as risk, the bad stuff, the threats. How does our cause-risk-effect structure help us build a solid defensive playbook? And this is where it gets really cool. Watch how each strategy targets a specific part of our risk sentence. So to avoid a threat, you go right after the cause, like using only local currency to completely get rid of exchange rate risk. To transfer it, you focus on the risk itself by getting a third party involved, like buying insurance. To reduce it, you work on the probability or the impact, say by holding workshops with a new supplier to make sure there are no misunderstandings. And finally, to accept a threat, you prepare for the effect by having contingency funds ready to go. See? Every action is precise and targeted. But here's the real game changer. This exact same logic works in reverse when you're trying to capitalize on opportunities. This framework isn't just about playing defense, it's about going on offense. Look at this, it's a perfect parallel. If you want to exploit an opportunity, you target the cause to guarantee that good outcome. If you want to share it, you focus on the risk by bringing in a partner. To enhance it, you mess with the probability and impact, like going all out at a trade show to get more contacts. And just like with threats, you can accept it by getting ready for the effect, maybe by having funds ready to pounce on that opportunity when it appears. So let's get to the crucial point. Why does this ridiculously simple structure work so well in the real world? This right here is the big aha moment. The strategies are perfect mirror images. Avoiding a threat is the flip side of exploiting an opportunity. Transferring risk is the mirror of sharing an opportunity. Reducing a threat is the polar opposite of enhancing an opportunity. And accepting the outcome, that works the same for both. It's one elegant framework for both defense and offense. So what's the big takeaway here? This simple language forces you to be crystal clear. It makes sure your actions are laser-focused, not just wasted effort. It gives you a single, consistent playbook for both the good stuff and the bad stuff. And maybe most importantly, it shifts your entire mindset from just reacting to things to being truly strategic and in the driver's seat. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Think about one risk or maybe an opportunity that you're dealing with right now. Can you define it using that structure? Because of this cause, this risk might occur, which would lead to this effect. Just give it a try. The clarity you gain might honestly surprise you.